One day, I was just hanging out here on YouTube watching some of my favorite guitar players when all of a sudden the algorithm threw at me one of my favorite interviews to this point. Mateus Asato interview with Rick Beato back in May of 2022. Now that is one of those videos that is worth watching every single second of it, so I'm gonna leave it in the description if you haven't watched it so you can watch it at your leisure. But in the middle of it, Mateus said something that completely changed the way that I approach learning the guitar. So let's go ahead and take a quick view at it.
Mateus, you incorporate some insane single note lines that are just like one of your last posts that you put up.
Yeah, that was actually a good one.
Insane single line stuff.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? Where did you develop?
That came from that lesson until seeing Tori Kelly's keyboard player.
Okay.
But he was using a different code because he had. So I saw just by the listening of it, it was so amazing. So Tori Kelly's ex keyboard player, his name is Leonard Jarman, plays for a lot of good. He's playing now with Maverick City, if I'm not wrong.
It's out of Atlanta.
Anyways, he is probably the most talented musician I've played, and then he's like insane, like perfect pitch, all this crazy stuff that you're already familiar with. And then he was just soloing using the Moog, but with like a paddle. What's that paddle? The harmonizer paddle.
Harmonizer, yeah.
Like a Digitech or something. Yeah. And then I freaked out. I was like, man, this sounds phenomenal. Like, are you using like the hands, like the different finger positions? And he was like, no, it's a paddle. But then that kind of triggered my mind of like, man, I want to sound like this guy.
Right.
So I kind of incorporate that mentality into like the double stop thing for that season. I was like, okay, how can I make a monophonic pentatonic to sound polyphonic, like
right.
with two sounds, you know? So it would be, I don't know. It's actually not very accurate, but like.
That's something I should try.
Beautiful.
So it's like, but that came from listening the keyboard player, and that was like mind blowing to me. It sounded very nice, and again, for me it's all about like giving a different flavor. Because again, what else could we explore at the guitar?
Right.
Especially after seeing Guthrie Govan changing the whole thing.
That a great clip. I love this interview so much. I can't recommend it enough. It meant a lot to me, and I'm actually gonna show you 3 practical ways in which I have applied what we just heard here in the interview. But before I do that, I would love to hear your unfiltered thoughts on what we just listened to. Maybe it didn't mean anything to you, but maybe it did. And if you want to share it in the comments, I would love to hear it out, and maybe we can start a conversation with everybody and learn from each other. But for me though, I think as a guitar player, sometimes we're too focused on guitar-centric content. Like, let's say like, I want to learn the pentatonic scale on guitar, chords on guitar, how to do this on guitar. That we miss you're missing an opportunity to learn from other musicians, maybe like a keyboard player, saxophone player, vocalist, you name it. So I think the first practical way in which I think we can apply this is pick a genre. I don't know what you're into, but whatever you're into, pick a musician that is not a guitar player. Follow them on social media. Maybe, I don't know, let's pick Corey Henry. Yeah, we all know that guy. I love that clip too. But maybe let's pick somebody that you're into and learn from them. Learn the little nuances. Maybe they have a course on how to play, and maybe follow it and see how your perspective can change drastically from looking at maybe same topic, same chords, same notes, but from a completely different perspective. My second point is maybe if you jam at church, for example, or you play your local bar, or you have like charity events that you play at a lot, pick some musicians that you're close to and just jam with them. Ask them, how do they come up with progressions? How do they come up with improvisation? Learn the little nuances too. Like, there's so much talent around us. It's not just on YouTube that we can find all those people to learn from. So I encourage you to just pick some friends or people that you respect and start learning from their perspective on how to play music. And the last one, the number 3, I don't know how to count. Number 3 is next time that you're trying to maybe look for a topic like how pros learn scales, intervals, I don't know, the pentatonic scale. Okay, I'm sorry for the shameless plug. But for real though, if you wanted to learn pentatonic scale, let's say you look up how to learn pentatonic scale on piano, or how to learn the pentatonic scale singing, or you know, you name it. I think we can learn a lot from their perspective as well. So all of this is just kind of like a different perspective changing. Mateus really learned from this keyboard player when he was with Tori Kelly, and I think we can learn a lot from them too. So my name is Mauricio, and if you need anything, just let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe if you're feeling it. I really appreciate it. So I'll see you on the next video.